won't help to terrorists.
What about the kids?
They will be, they grow up and they will be terrorists too.
So you. All these live streaming things.
What's up, bro?
What's up? Are you in Israel?
Yeah.
What's going on, bro? I heard Iran is destroying Israel. What's going on?
No, everything fine, my friend. Everything.
Are you sure?
Under control. Yeah, 100%.
Everything. Are you in the IDF?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you go to Gaza or no?
I was in Gaza like 1 month, but that's it.
That's it. So what's going on, man? Why are you guys blocking humanitarian aid from Gaza?
Because they are terrorists and you don't want help to terrorists.
What about the kids?
They will be, they grow up and they will be terrorists too.
So you really think, seriously, man, seriously, you think like when the kids grow up, they're going to grow up and be terrorists? Like, are you serious?
Actually, I believe that, yes. We have experience, with the Arab, with the Muslim, especially with the Palestinians, yes. Like 90% of them support the terrorism.
So you really think, because I've always wanted to ask an Israeli, like, you really think when the kid grows up, he's going to grow up to become a terrorist? That's why you guys like kill them, so they don't.
No, we don't kill them.
20,000 were unalived.
Listen.
Okay.
We don't kill them propose, but I believe, and all the people of Israel believe, when those kids will grow up, they will be terrorists. But that's not a matter. We don't try to kill them propose. They killed only because the Hamas terrorists hiding, army equipment behind the children in the hospital, in the schools. And we tell them, leave the places, leave the hospital, their home, leave. We don't want to kill you. But the Hamas don't let them go. So, of course, if someone shoot you, you shoot back. You don't, raise your hand and say, okay, kill me.
Right, but I've seen like how what you guys did to Gaza, and how there's nothing left, man, in Gaza. But like, how would you destroy the entirety of Gaza without even knowing where your hostages are?
We don't destroy all Gaza. It's like we destroyed 80%. If you ask me, we need to destroy everything.
But what about the hostages, man?
They will come, my friend. We already bring 200, little bit more than 200. After the Iranian regime will fall, that will help to negotiation and the hostages will back. And if you look about the options, it's like 20 people against one nation. You can't, let the nation fall because 20 people. If we need to choose, believe me, the majority of the people here will choose to destroy Gaza. But if you ask me, I really want to see the hostages back because that's a very supreme stuff in Judaism.
But don't you feel bad, man, when you know that there is children that are being starved to death in Gaza because you guys are blocking humanitarian aid?
After the October 7, no, I not feel sorry about them.
But they're
children. I don't have mercy anymore.
Children.
I don't care, my friend. I don't care. When I saw the videos from the October 7, when I saw the people, when they begging to the Hamas member, don't kill me, children and women, and the Hamas terrorists just, target the gun and shoot them. Like, what the fuck?
Okay,
then I saw those...
Let me ask you a question. If now, let's say, because you guys say that Hamas, they're all terrorists, right? Because of all the crimes they did. But what's the difference between you and Hamas if you're committing the same crimes as they did on October 7th?
It's different because you asked me.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to answer. Yeah, go ahead.
My English is not
No, go ahead. Go
yours. Help me to help you.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay. We are different because we suggest them like 3 times to establish a country. We helped to the people of Gaza. Before the October 7, we gave them money, we gave them water. Every day, 30,000 people from Gaza get into Israel to work.
Okay.
Before 40 years, my parents visit in Gaza and in the past, there didn't was a border and everything was free.
Okay.
After the Hamas get to the power, everything became worse. So that's different because we suggest to them a peace agreement. We help them. We try to do everything for them to establish a country, independent country, but they choose in the terror. So that's the life. We don't want that. We don't like it, but we're not gonna feel sorry about it.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. What do you expect from people that you've been occupying for all this time? Because that you control their import, export, seaport, airspace. You control all that. Even though you pulled out in 2005, but you still control it. So you're actually controlling those people. So how do you expect them to be good if you are treating them like subhumans?
We control in a few way in the lifestyle of Gaza only because we know that if we will let them to be free in everything, they will use it to terror. We suggest them again. We suggest them to establish an independent country, and believe me, if they didn't choose in a terror path, believe me, Israel will give them everything.
But Gaza is not. It's just a strip. You know, it's like 25 miles by 5 miles. That's not even considered a country. That's considered a strip. You know, that's like as big as a neighborhood here in Miami. So it's not that big for us to say that they can establish their own country while you're controlling their seaport and airspace and import and export. You're still controlling these
I
people.
understand. I understand what you say,
Go
but
ahead.
after all, Gaza work better than the majority of the Arab country
What
in
do you mean?
everything. It's mean like if you look about the money, the building, the export, because Israel helped them, even they not free. That's Israel do everything for them. About the text, about the working, about the water. My friend, they didn't have a problem in the water, in oil, in power, in
But
everything.
but the water
Even
you're
when
giving
you
them.
want to remove the garbage, they did it better than the majority of the Arab countries. So you can consider Gaza as a country before the October 7th because they behave as a country. The majority of the world support them. Look about what happened in Europe and what happened in America. So
Okay.
you can say Gaza didn't consider it as a country because they basically did.
Right,
So
right. I understand, but you're giving them water, you're giving them electricity, and you're letting goods in. You're giving them water that is from their land. You took that land from them. You know that, right? So you're not really doing them a favor.
okay, so that's another argument. You say you declare that's their land. I said it's my land. To explain that, to this subject, you need to understand the history. Okay, even the name Palestine. Just a second, my friend. Let me just take something. Sorry. Even the name Palestine. Do you know where the name comes from?
The name Palestine. Some of you
Yeah.
say that the Hebrews named Palestine because it means invaders. Some say the Greeks named Palestine. Some say the Romans named Palestine.
The name of Palestine is appear in the Torah when the Greeks nation was the Plishtim. They have a problem with the Jewish after they destroyed the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judea. That's why we say Jewish, Judea. In Hebrew, we
Okay.
say and Jewish, it's mean Yehudi. Before more than 3,000 years. When the Romans, when they occupied the land from us, they changed the name from Israel and Judea to Palestia. And
Okay.
with the time, the name is changed. They tried to cut the root from the Jewish people to this land. So they changed the name
Right.
Palestia,
But
Palestine, Palestine. By the way, this didn't was only Palestine, it's the whole area called Syria, Palestina.
no, it was Greater Syria, but it was Canaan. But if you
Canaan
go
was before Israel, before
right, right.
40,000 days, but it's not a
So
matter
so
because
so when
all the, just a second, let me finish one
okay,
sentence. All the religious believe in Hebron, and the God give this land to Hebron, so it's not matter who was before Hebron. When people speak about the Canaanites was before Ibrahim, so it's not really matter.
okay, so when Abraham, the prophet Abraham he came to Palestine, right?
He came to Canaan.
No, because here you see, if you look at Genesis here, it says that Prophet Abraham came to Palestine and lived there as a foreigner for a long time. That was
My
before
friend, that's
Moses.
translation. That's translation.
Yeah,
I can open that's in Hebrew, and Hebrew that's the
in
original.
Hebrew it was formulated because when you go to the let me tell you, let me just give me like maybe 2 minutes. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown on if you go to the Bronze Age of Palestine, any library you go to the Bronze Age of Palestine, it'll tell you the Bronze Age of Palestine, the Hebrews and the Israelites came towards the end of the Bronze Age of Palestine, so it was called Palestine. The Iron Age of Palestine, if you go to the same library, the Iron Age of Palestine, it tells you that Prophet David was born in Bethlehem, Palestine, in a tribe called Judea. So Judea was only a province functioning in Palestine according to the Persian era of Palestine, which was before the Roman Empire. So it's almost impossible to say the Hebrews named it, or even the Greeks, or even the Romans, because it was called Philistine before, when it was part of Canaan, and then the Philistines outnumbered the Canaanites, so they called it Philistine then. So at the end of the day, it is Philistine, whether we like it or not. Even the British named it Philistine. The Ottomans named it Philistine. So
it's called Palestine like 2000 years, but before it's called Israel and Judea. But just a second, I want to understand how to say something. Okay. So you claim that the Torah is basically headed. So if I prove that the Torah is not headed, I can prove my claim, right?
Go ahead.
Okay. If you really want to know if the Torah is headed, you just need to go to the Nationalist Library in Israel. They find books of Torah before 2,500 years ago. So if that's really interesting you, you just can go look about these books and just translate. Everything is the same. Actually, that's not edit. Even one letter not edit.
What about the Herodotus?
I don't know what
the historian that was there before the Jewish people were there, and he referred to it as Philistine or Palestine, and between Syria and the Phoenicia or Egypt. The Phoenicia was Lebanon today. So he referred to it. He never mentioned Judea or Israel, because not that it didn't exist, but Judea and Israel.
Who didn't mention?
Herodotus. He's one of the oldest historians in the world. He has his book. If you actually put Herodotus, and you'll see how many times he mentioned Palestine, and he never mentioned Israel or even
I can't answer you about it because I don't know him.
No, just put Herodotus. Herodotus.
You speak about Horus, which means
Herodotus.
Again,
Herodotus. Herodotus. But just put Herodotus mentions Palestine, and it'll show you which book, because it's a historian. It's not. You need to understand that the Torah, the Bible, the Christian Bible, and the Quran are not used as evidence. They are used as reference, because they are scriptures in religion. Now, people, as Muslims, they can't use their Quran as evidence, and you can't use your Torah as evidence. They're just reference.
Okay. That's what you believe, my friend. I can't argue.
It's not what I believe. It's what I read. The historians say. This is what historians say.
Yes, but as a Jewish, I believe in the Torah and what appears.
No.
For me, it's not a reference.
Me,
it's history.
Me, as a Muslim, I believe in every word in the Quran, but I cannot use it as evidence. You understand what I'm saying? I can't use it as evidence.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
And the same thing for the Torah. You believe in everything in the Torah, and I respect that. I respect the Torah. But I cannot use the verses of the Torah as evidence, as well as I can't use verses in the Quran as evidence, because they can only be used as reference.
That's not correct. You know why?
That is correct. The scriptures.
No, I will try to answer you. Because against your English is better than mine. We find a lot of archaeological evidence in Jerusalem that's actually show us then everything that appeared. For example, in the part of Jerusalem in the Judaism, it's basically true. If you look about the Battle of Jericho, we find the evidence.
Right.
So that's another evidence that show us then the Torah is true.
Oh no, no, no! Nobody's saying the Torah is not true, because based even on the Quran, based on the Quran, that the Jewish people were in that land. Nobody can deny that. Now,
yes, but you make a difference between the Hel Yahud and Bana Israel. So I think, in my opinion,
Yehuda is only Yehuda, tribe of Judea. Yehuda, not all Bani Israel are from tribe of Judea. That's what you need to understand.
I know that, because the Bana Israel don't get into the Israel, to the promised land. They broke the, how to say that, the testament. I know. The God tell us to get into to Israel, and we prefer don't do that.
Exactly.
But that's according to your belief. So who built Jerusalem, my friend?
No, not my belief. But you know, it's you know who named Jerusalem, right? It was Salim who named Jerusalem. He wasn't Jewish that named Jerusalem. You know that, right?
Okay, Jerusalem is come from the name Yerushalayim.
Yerushalayim came from Salim. Salim, the one who named Jerusalem, his name was Salim. Jerusalem, Salim.
No, my friend. In Hebrew, we say Yerushalayim. It's a combination between two words, Yeru and Shalem.
Shalem is salam, peace.
No, Shalom. Shalom is peace. Salam. Shalem is incomplete, something complete.
No, maybe in Hebrew, but Salim in Arabic it means peace.
I know.
But you see here, you read here.
But not Shalem.
You read here.
You can send me, because when I. No, my friend, if you can send me the picture, because I can translate a word and I don't understand.
Oh, I don't know how to send you the picture, but it says Israel forging trove of biblical artifacts. That they tried to show it was forged means that they have a lot of fake artifacts. That doesn't mean that Jewish people were not there. Of course they were there, but there's artifacts that they fake that there are not considered artifacts. They were considered that they were made recently by some forger. You know, they forged those artifacts.
I think, my friend, we need to minimum the argument to one questions. Because you're a Muslim, I try to minimum the argument. If we prove you the Bana Israel, that's the Hel Yahud of today, and if I can, show you, then we are really get into the Israel. We actually finished the argument. Are you agree with that?
I'll make it easier for you. I think you are a Mizrahi Jew, right?
Yes, I'm also Moroccan.
You a Mizrahi Jew, you are an actual Jewish. You don't have to prove nothing to me. But 90% of Jewish people in the world are Ashkenazi Jews, and those are not biblically Israelites. You can be Israelite. You as a Mizrahi, I believe that you're Jewish. But the Ashkenazi Jews, they're not. They're not. Listen. They're not from the Middle East. You're from the Middle East. You're from the Middle East, North Africa. Okay, but they're not. They're not. Let's not lie to each other. They're not. You're an actual Jewish guy, but they're not. They're a Khazarian, Khazarian. We know that.
It's not correct.
you know I'm saying the truth. I can tell you look either Middle Eastern. You look Middle Eastern, so people can say you are Jewish. But you're not going to tell me Ben Gurion from Poland. You see what I'm saying?
I think he's from Poland. They don't really.
Okay. You see, that's what I'm saying. But you, Mizrahi, from Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, yeah, you guys are all Jewish. We know that. That is 100% true. Nobody can say you're not from there. But the other ones that from Poland to Russia, no, come on, bro. Come on.
Okay. Let me try
That's
to
the truth, though, right?
Okay. It's not correct for 100%. Okay, and I will try to explain you. When the Romans is occupied the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel, they spread the people around the world. And if I put you in Europe for after 2 generations or 3 generations, your look change by the aklim, my friend. So if you will be in Europe, you will be more white. If you will be in Asia, you can be more relaxed. If you will be, you know what? It was. Yeah. I know about experiment. Then a few people conducted in Israel. They take twins. One of they grow up in Israel, and one of them grow up in Argentina. Even the face was changed.
Let me ask
you a
question.
It's dependent about the place that you grow up. So
if an Ethiopian Jew goes to, they move him to Europe 2,000 years ago. After 2,000 years, the Ethiopian African is going to come back white?
No, that's. I think it's no, but it's not the same, my friend. It's not the same.
I'll tell you why. Because you need to understand pre-exile. If you read the book of Josephus or Josephus, Josephus, there was already about 7 million of the Jays in Rome, and there was only 500,000 in Judea. So it is almost impossible for 500,000 in Judea to become this much in a small period of time. You know, even if you want to go back to 638 when the Islamic conquest came and they say, oh, they were displaced and went there, it's almost impossible. Now you, as a Mizrahi, nobody can tell you that you're not a Jew. Because you're from there. You're from the region, bro. You're Middle Eastern. Whether you like it or not, you're Middle Eastern. But Ben Gurion, you cannot convince me that Ben Gurion is from the Middle East. No way. No way. You are, yeah.
Okay. So I think
you have
if
more
I can
Jew in you
convince
than them,
you,
man. You have more Jew in you than them. Like you're an actual like you can actually sit next to me as a Muslim or as an Arab and nobody can tell. They're gonna probably think we're brothers. But if I sit next to Bibi Netanyahu, they're gonna be like, oh, who's this guy? You know what I'm saying? That's true though.
According the law, yeah, I'm look Arab. I know that.
Yeah.
I look sometimes more Arab than the Arabs.
And that's normal because it's not about Arabs because you're from the region. That's how the region looks like, the people in that region. So it doesn't really matter whether you're Arab or Jew. You guys, anyway, they say that they're cousins anyway. Arabs and Jews are cousins. And from Ibrahim Ishmael or Ishaq, right?
Yeah, Ishmael.
So
by the way, you know what the meaning of Ishmael? The name
is the father of Arabs.
Yes, but what the meaning according the Hebrew, the Aramaic, what it's mean?
No, I don't. To be honest, I don't know.
Ishmael, it's a combination between two words, Ishma and El. Ishma, it's mean listen.
El, it's mean like the God. Like Isma in Arabic.
Like Ishma, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And El, it's mean the God, the Elohim.
Okay.
So it's mean
Isma God.
Yeah. So it's mean you will, according to Judaism, the son of Ishmael, the Muslim of today, the Arabs, will be religious, more religious than us. We can argue against it. You're more religious than us. Ishma la'el, listen to the God. But what the meaning of the name Israel? Because Ishmael and Yitzhak was brothers.
Right.
Yitzhak have the son of Yaakov.
Yaakov was a bit Ishaq.
Yeah. Yeah, the son of Yitzhak. And the Esav and all the legacy. But
right.
The name of Yaakov is changed.
The main one.
Yeah. After his fight one day against the angel, some people think he fight against the God, but according to Judaism, it's not correct.
It's the angel, I think they said.
Yeah, an angel. He changed the name of Yaakov
to
Israel. But what the meaning of the name Israel?
What?
Israel, that's combination from two words, Yashar, straight, and El. If you mention, if you put attention, Ishma, El, Isra, El, both of the nation with the name of the God. So it means we have experienced power to the Muslim and the Jewish people.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's why they have problems with each other all the time.
Yes, because to explain that, I need to dive with you to the subjects. If you want, I can try to explain.
Okay.
That's about the son. Okay, we need go back to Ibrahim. Ibrahim had two women, Sarah and Agar. Agar was the mom of Ishmael.
Yeah, Agar. Agar was the mother of Ishmael.
Right, and Sarah was the mother of Yitzhak.
Yitzhak, mazbout.
Okay, so before he became a wife of Abraham, Agar was the servant of Sarah. And it was, I don't know how to explain it in English, so I will try to explain it in simple, but I don't try to offend you, okay? Because the Agar was the servant of Sarah, after he became pregnant in the son of Ibrahim,
okay,
he start to be rude. And that's what the Islam try to do of today, according to Judaism. They don't look about the Judaism. They said, we come to, wow, just a second, I want to say that's correct. Because it's very important. Replace the Judaism. We come to the world to replace the Judaism. That's how Agar come to the Hebraian. We come to replace the Sarah, because Sarah he can't bring a children in the world. Just after the God is blessed her, she became pregnant.
okay.
So that's what the Islam want to do. For a long history, they think they can replace the Judaism, and that will be peace after the Islam, like Agar did. Because
Okay.
he became like the server of Sarai. I don't want to say that the Muslim need to be server of the Jewish people, but they need to recognize that that's a part of the Judaism, a branch of the Judaism.
Okay.
And they didn't come to the world to replace the Judaism. And then the God will bless all of us, and the peace world will come to the world. It's dependent on us, my friend.
Let me be honest with you. The only time the Jews and the Arabs can have peace if you end Zionism. Zionism is if Zionism is a way you get you get rid of the radicals, the extremists from both sides, from the Jewish side and the Arab side. You get rid of them, and then because we've always lived together, man. We've always lived together.
My family live in Morocco and Iraq, and
we've always lived together. But the only thing that separated us is the extremism from both sides. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but you need to understand the Jewish, after, along the history, a lot of nations tried to kill us. And that was a little bit pogrom in Iraq. I know that's because my family come from Iraq. Everything was fine, but little bit before 1948, some people from the government start to kill Jewish there. I know that's because the uncle of my mother is still buried there.
Right.
So the Jewish afraid from the nation. Actually, it's according the books of Daniel. According the books of Daniel, before the Messiah will come and before the judgment day, all the Jewish around the world will come to this place, the promised land, and establish a state. You can find it. Some people translate that in a different...
Only after the arrival of the Messiah, they establish a state. And they have to enter the land peacefully. They have to enter the land peacefully, and they have to enter the land welcomed. Tell me, did the Zionists enter the land peacefully and welcomed? No. Right?
It's not correct, my friend. The books of Daniel. Okay, some people, some Jewish, it's called Netule Karta, some movement. They are extreme Jewish. They believe that Israel not exist. Only after the Messiah and the Bet HaMikdash in Hebrew, will come from the sky on the Temple Mount.
Okay.
They believe that, but the majority of the Jewish don't believe that. And if you look about the books of Daniel, that I really love...
are secular. Secular.
What do you mean?
The majority of the Jewish are secular. Secular. The ones who actually believe that the Messiah should arrive is the religious Jewish people, the one that actually know the Torah and read it very good, and the religious.
But we still have a lot of religious people here and don't believe in this movement of the Netule Karta. The Netule Karta in only 2% of the Jewish people.
Yeah, but that's in the Torah though, right?
It's not in the Torah. That's appearing in the books of some of them. It's the prophet Yechezkel is talk about it, but
what's Shabbat Shalosh?
Shabbat Shalom?
No, Shabbat Shalosh, or Shabbat or Shvet Shalosh, something like that. The three oaths.
The three oaths.
Like the promise, the three oaths. It's called the Shavim Shalosh or something like that. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong in Hebrew because I'm trying to pronounce it in Hebrew because I don't speak Hebrew, so I'm probably mispronouncing it.
Okay. It's okay, but what need to be in according the Daniel book? I just give you that, and I need to go, my friend.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Oh, by the way,